Welcome back to our special 1-hour InnerSPACE in celebration of the reimagining of being human. And as you know, we're joined by the vampire ghost and the werewolf, Sam Witwer, Megan Rath, and Sam Huntington, and it's all going down in front of a live studio audience.
Yes,
Woo! And I love doing that. I love having an audience, because at any point you can say woo, and nice.
Lots of fun. Now, the great... Sorry, that was a little dismissive. I was like, I've got a question I've got to ask here.
You meant it wasn't fun.
No, it was
Did you hear
fun.
that? Did you? Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Lots of fun. Great. Back to
I'm trying to rein it back in here. There's questions on these cue cards.
Okay.
They are important.
I don't want any trouble. AJ Friley.
All right, let me do this professionally then. Each of you... What real-life issues... Teddy truncated these, so they don't even make grammatical sense. Basically, you're dealing with real-life issues, but in a supernatural way.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Why do you think that's
We got into it a bit already, but it really
it's real-life issues. We're really trying to ensure on the show that the supernatural stuff is always grounded in real-life stuff. I mean, one thing that we didn't talk about just now is, for example, our vampires are maybe a little bit different than what you're used to. For example...
He can see his own reflection, I noticed.
Yes, and we can be out in daylight, but it's uncomfortable. But moreover, we try to ground that as well. Like Bishop's vampire family is portrayed kind of like a low-rent mafia family. And, and for example, you know, if you go and commit a crime, you need a cleanup crew and remove all the forensic evidence of you ever being there, because, you know, you have to... this is a real world, and we're trying to really portray that.
Right.
You know? And so, for example, we shot this one scene that happens later on in the season where there's a gathering of vampires, and you'd imagine, you know, with a bunch of leather pants and people going, you know, and just like,
emo.
they're all in a nightclub, and they're just, you know, yeah, hey, I'm a vampire, you too? Yeah, how could you tell? And so... But our vampires, when we looked around and saw who they cast as the vampires, I mean, some of them looked like school teachers, some of them looked like college kids, some of them looked like fathers, and it was just regular people.
One of them was actually my dad.
And he was wearing leather pants and a long coat.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah. He wasn't wearing anything under the long coat.
But we really try to ground these things and really ground the metaphors, you know, saying that anyone can have these problems and they hide them from everyone else. And so we really try to make it a gritty reality on this show. I mean, even if there's any action sequences and stuff, they're not pretty fights that happen in the show. They're very uncomfortable to watch. They're street fights.
Cool. Well, you were just talking about, you know, modifying the mythology of vampires for this series, setting up new ground rules. We got some rapid-fire questions for you now.
Do it.
Yes.
On the mythology of vampires, werewolves,
Wait, is this
and
the
ghosts.
quiz that we were talking about?
Yeah, the quiz.
Oh, no.
Get ready.
Sorry.
Get ready.
That seat just became the hot seat. All right, first up, Bram Stoker's Dracula, written in 1897, though universally popular, has recently gone out of print. True or false?
False.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Never gone out of print.
That's not going to happen.
All right, next
The
up.
book has never gone out of
That was
print.
a trick, guys.
That was a trick one.
Get it right.
Nothing.
You guys got to answer too, though. You're not getting none of
It's
this.
whoever answers the
Just
fastest.
jump in.
Okay. All right, The Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood.
Are we competing with each other or against you?
Why not?
I don't know
We
if
haven't
there's a prize.
established that.
Okay, you ready? Here we go.
The Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood is considered a werewolf. True or false?
False.
False.
The most widely known werewolf story, according to the internet, where we got our research.
Is it really? Well, that's...
Everything is true on this.
Hey, listen. You
We
learn
went to
something
the
new every day.
Wikipedia for Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, and you're right about that interweb. Everything's true.
Yeah.
I have an interesting one about ghosts. Everything is true on there. Cell phones are killing off ghosts. Is this
False.
true or false?
False.
This is true.
According to the internet.
Yeah, again, according to
once
Tony
again.
Cornell. And
I believe it
Failing
fully.
miserable-
Tony Cornell, who's an academic, says that ghost sightings began to decline when mobile phones were introduced some 15 years ago. Cell phones killing ghosts.
Interesting.
Damn, I ain't afraid no ghost. That's awesome. That's really cool, because that's what they should have done the whole time. You know, Ray, look out! It's Egon. Okay. We got him, Ray. We got him. Bigman, we got him. Wait, Angry Birds, Bigman. We got him.
That's an excellent acronym.
You like that?
That's really good.
Thank you.
Sam Witwer, master of impressions.
You have no idea.
All right. By the end of the 20th century, over 300 motion pictures were made about vampires, and over 100 of them featured Dracula. True or false?
True.
That is true. There you go.
Megan's.
I got the vampire
on?
questions, so I'm winning. We can
All right,
establish
this is a werewolf-centric one. Holy water can kill a werewolf, true or false?
False.
That is correct! We thought we'd throw you off with that one, but...
Damn.
Another ghost one. Animals are the most prone to seeing ghosts.
True.
True.
Going into the internet again.
Yeah.
I don't know if my cat or dog has ever seen a ghost. Hard to ask them.
Did you ask? Yeah.
Just
Woof, meow.
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, that's all we have for the rapid fire, but I
that
understand
was
we have a question in the audience, so let's go out to
Indeed.
the audience here. Yes, sir.
All right, I know you guys play supernatural characters on the show, but I was wondering if you actually believe in the supernatural, and if you do, if you've had any supernatural experiences.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I definitely have. I've believed in them my entire life. The first house I ever lived in was haunted. There was a grave in the backyard. So I sort of was
They
bred on
build
that
your
stuff.
They just moved the headstones and built your house, huh?
On an actual graveyard.
That
yeah.
never works.
Yeah. We moved.
Seen poltergeist.
What about you guys? Any
Well,
supernatural?
I had a pretty weird experience happen to me one time when I was at my parents' house in New Hampshire, and I went to bed at around 11 o'clock, and wake up at around 1 a.m. and I just remember something outside my door that was dangerous, and I was like, I need to get out of this room. So I opened the window.
Was it Sam Witwer?
It was Sam. End of the story. Flash forward. We're going to Tarantino this. It was Sam Witwer. Now back to it. So I open the window. I take the screen off. I prop myself up, and I'm planning on just hanging and then floating to the ground.
Out the window.
Out the window.
Yeah.
So I prop myself up. This is a true story, by the way. Prop myself up, and as soon as my elbows break, bend like this, I fall. On 2 stories down to the dirt. Naked. So I picture, and this is like rural New Hampshire, middle of nowhere. So I picture like people, and this is sleepwalking. This is what happened.
Right,
Ah.
And so, but I still think that there was something behind that.
Ghosts
How does that
do
relate
sleep-
to
sleepwalking.
his
It was like a poltergeist.
There was something going on.
Yeah, that's the
okay.
story. There was
Okay,
something
okay,
going
okay.
on.
Teddy trying to capture your life.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what it
I
was.
was trying to be you.
That's what it was.
All
I
right,
I just
well,
love
we
it. Even the suggestion of something wrong. You don't need specificity. Be like, Sam, there is something wrong over there. It's like, whoa!
Take off my clothes, jump out the window.
That's all it takes. All right, we got lots more show coming up, including we're going to talk about the fact that though the show is set in Boston, the series is actually shot in our own backyard in Montreal. We'll be chatting about that after the break, and we'll get some of the dirt on the creepy sets that they shoot on Being Human.